Good afternoon, everyone. As people coming in. Good afternoon. Just please switch off your microphones and your cameras. Okay, everybody, just switch off your microphones and cameras as you're coming in, please. Thank you.
Somebody will let me in.
That's great. So welcome, good afternoon. Just as you're coming in, if you can switch off your microphones and switch off your cameras just now, that would be great. So welcome, good afternoon and welcome to the SPIRI webinar for European R&D funding and brokerage. This is for calls relating to hydrogen and advanced fuels, and especially within an integrated renewable energy system. So I'm Natasha Madeira. I work for the Energy Technology Partnership, which is part of SPIRI, and we will just start shortly. I'm just going to go through a little bit about the organisation and the order of the day. So that's a fair few people already in. So please do introduce yourselves into the chat, say who you are, say who your organisation is, and especially say if you're looking for a partnership for any sort of collaboration. So just put all of those details in the chat and say hi, introduce yourself, and hopefully we'll get some collaborations within the chat as well. So today we're just going to have a quick introduction about the webinar and then about the funding calls, the kind of support you can receive from the public sector and different types of partner search tools. We'll have a company's case study from Matt Lees from Clyde Hydrogen Systems, who was involved in one of our funding brokerage events last year, and we'll share his insights and lessons learned from that. And then we'll go into some innovator pitches from organisations from Scotland and from wider European potential collaborators. We'll have a quick discussion on opportunities for collaboration and any questions you have for that. And then we'll just provide some information on what's going to happen next and how you can get ongoing support. So this webinar is hosted in partnership with Scottish Enterprise and with support from the wider Hydrogen Team Scotland. So that's all the enterprise agencies in Scotland and also the innovation support organisations who will work together to support you, and we can reach out to anyone if you need help across Scotland. So we're looking to support your bid readiness, basically get you ready for any funding calls that are coming up and trying to develop partnerships. We're focusing on the Horizon Europe calls, principally in the platform for collaborating across the Horizon Europe calls. But there are other calls that may be relevant, and Richard will tell you a little bit more about those shortly. So this is an approach for bringing together innovators. There are other approaches as well, but this is useful because it's a website that is available across Europe and beyond all of Horizon Europe partners. And so this is the widest breadth of partnerships in terms of the portal for collaboration. We're going to showcase a little bit the innovators' expertise, and hopefully you can directly matchmake on the platform for GreenNet, and also via the chat and afterwards with us. Some of the portal's profiles set up have not been activated yet because people are away from the administrative team in GreenNet to activate them all, but we have managed to get some last minute activations of those. So hopefully most of the links will take you straight to the profiles. If not, they'll be open and activated soon, and we'll let you know about that. So as I mentioned before, the GreenNet platform is a matchmaking platform. It's similar to the one that we used for the Clean Energy Transition Partnership one in August, the B2 Match. And so once you've joined one, it's very similar to use, and you can also join the next one with a similar profile. So as the pictures are speaking, they will do a very quick overview of the organization and what sort of collaboration opportunities there are. QR code should take you directly to the matchmaking platform. If it wasn't activated when we set it up, there will be a link there, and my colleague Jenny will be pasting that into the chat, so you can do that. You can send a direct message via the portal itself, or you can put your opportunity contact details in the chat for us to follow up, or them to follow up. And as I said, we'll put all the information later on out to everybody, and you can look at our event webpage as well. So SPIRI is the Scottish Partnership in Energy and Engineering Research and Innovation. ETP is part of that. That's the Energy Technology Partnership. We cover 14 Scottish universities, so all the energy and all the engineering expertise and facilities in those 14 universities. So you can come to us for collaborations with any of those across Scotland, and we will help you to do that. So we have strategic themes across these across SPIRI for energy and engineering. You can see them there. We're obviously supporting at the moment the hydrogen advanced fuels theme, but there are other areas, and there's a lot across thematic working across hydrogen. We have a theme group champion, which is Professor Mandat Hussain. He's based up at Robert Gordon University, and he supports collaboration across all the universities on hydrogen and is the contact point for academic collaborations and projects as well. We basically cover every aspect of hydrogen across all of the universities, so sort of hydrogen enablers and end users and all those different categories there. So if it's something that you're looking for, I'm sure we'll be able to find someone across the universities to support you. Finally, I'm funded through the Hydrogen Innovation Programme, which is a Scottish Government funded programme, and this is part of the Scottish Hydrogen Action Plan. I'm here to support collaborations between innovators and other innovators, and with academics and with industry and public sector bodies around Scotland, the rest of the UK, and European collaborations as well. If you're looking for support, you can contact us. There's a link there for the expressions of interest form, or you can email directly, and all of this information will be provided after the event too. So these are the kind of areas that we help with: funding, brokerage, internationalization, cluster building, and R&D and R&I support. Just going to hand over to Richard just now. He's going to give you an overview of the calls. And Richard's from Scottish Enterprise, and he's the specialist in energy transition and collaboration for European and Scottish projects.
Okay, thank you very much, Natasha. This is, well, I've been asked to really do a quick fly through the resources available for finding partners and the available support. Before doing this, I thought I'd provide some examples of the funding programs where collaboration is required. Some of these calls may be closed at the moment, but expect new opportunities later on in the year. These programs are all different, with some taking an open approach where applicants define the scope and the focus of the projects, so they're not just dedicated to hydrogen. As an example, there's the SME-focused Eureka Eurostars program, which supports projects at the validation to the prototype stage of development, or also there's the European Innovation Council Pathfinder program, which supports earlier stage research and development. So they tend to be open for you to just suggest the projects that you'd like to do in those areas. There are also programs which define the scope of the projects for you, what they're really looking to fund. This includes the Horizon Europe program, which supports later stage, larger scale projects. Horizon includes the Clean Hydrogen Partnership there, which is very competitive. And you might also find opportunities in the wider energy work program under Horizon Europe, which is called Climate, Energy and Mobility. Because there's a dedicated opportunity for hydrogen through the Clean Hydrogen Partnership, that's where most of the opportunities will be. However, sometimes they do cross over to that wider Horizon Europe program. Finally, I thought it's also worth mentioning Innovate UK calls, because they also do sometimes have international collaborations as well. And I do know that a couple of years ago there was one dedicated on hydrogen. The QR code on the screen will help you find out a little bit more about these. And later on in the presentation, I'll be talking about some of the support organizations, so you can also ask those and myself about these programs if you have any questions. Natasha, yes. So, yeah, just before talking about the GreenNet website and directly, I was kind of wanting to say that there's a couple of different partner search websites out there. We have focused on this GreenNet website because this is the actual platform, or the workings behind it is used by a number of different organizations who run brokerage events. And the following slides, or the slide here, and you'll see on for the next ones, have the QR codes, which again will directly take you to those platforms. It is, however, important that whichever platform you use, that you provide a clear message and think about who you're actually wanting to attract and how you want them to view you. I always think this is really, really important, as it's maybe the first impression that they'll have of you as an organization. So if you just put a couple of lines in your profile, it doesn't really tell them very much about you, so they might just skip over to the next person they're looking at. It's also really important for when you're looking for partners for a project, that the profile specifies the details of the type of expertise that you are looking for, the size of the role maybe the partner's going to have within the project. And also another thing you need to consider is what is the benefit to that potential partner. Because they might not actually be getting 100% funding, so that what you're working together on has to be mutually beneficial. Sometimes people are just focused on, I need this type of expertise, but you need to think about why people would work with you. I always think that you really do need to create that good profile, or you will not get the kind of the high quality responses that you want, or alternatively, the responses in the right type of area and you're getting the wrong people replying to you. If you're actually looking to join projects, it's even more important to stand out, because there's lots of people who are offering their services. Tailoring your profile so it's targeted at the specific opportunity you're looking at, and not just using text from your own website. Make sure it's clear that you have looked at the opportunity you're wanting to collaborate on. Again, it's just about those first impressions. One final note on the creation of profile: if you spend time on it now, as kind of Natasha was talking about, it'll be ready for when you need it, and it can just you can just tinker with it, and it won't take that long. So I was just going to say a couple of words about the GreenNet website. Like I say, this is the one who the companies are presenting on today will be hosted on as well. It is focused on the Horizon Europe program, and you can create that profile, which will provide information about both your organization and about yourself. You can also create multiple individual opportunities where you're looking for partners or offering your expertise. So it's not just like a one page, there is that opportunity to kind of make several different approaches. You can also use the platform to search for other organizations who are developing projects or actively looking at the Horizon program. You can actually contact anyone on the platform directly and invite them to have a call. And you can see on the screen, the different types of information which can be provided. I sometimes also look at the companies I have interest in through other platforms as well, like LinkedIn, just to see maybe even I might already have a mutual connection. So it's a way in to start that conversation. I think this is the best platform to use overall to share your expertise, because you can just take that link, drop it into an email, so people can access what you've already presented. You don't need to recreate that wheel. But there are other platforms out there. So Tasha, if you go to the next slide, I just wanted to mention this one. It's one by Enterprise Europe Network. I'll touch upon them a little bit later. This is, again, a dedicated partner search website. But the network manages Europe's largest online database of business opportunities. So this isn't just focused on a specific funding program that allows you to search for businesses or academic partners to manufacture, distribute, co-develop and supply your products, ideas and services. So this one just covers everything. But like as you can see on the screen, the one which I picked on is looking at R&D collaboration. If you want to go to the next one. The European Commission also has their own partner platform which actually is quite good, because what it actually does is that for each funding opportunity that they're promoting, individual core topic, you can actually go into that opportunity when it is live and see who has already put their interest in that funding call. And you can also upload your own profile onto this one. So if someone's already clicking onto this particular opportunity, or the one you're looking at, it's that they're targeting their interest on that one. Some companies do spam it, I would say. So again, it's about standing out and making sure your profile is dedicated to that. Again, like the GreenNet website, you can actually strike up a conversation with them. As you can see just on the right-hand side there, it does say contact. So you can just email them directly as long as you're registered yourself. Natasha, do you want to jump onto the next slide? So I was just going to touch upon the support on that. So first one I wanted to mention was the Innovate UK Business Growth, who are located in Scottish Enterprise, and I think there's support on the other economic development agencies as well. They are part of the Enterprise Europe network, which I mentioned previously, which itself is actually kind of the world's largest support network for SMEs with international ambitions. The network actually is involved in 50 countries, bringing together 6,000 experts providing support via the database I showed there, or through delivering brokerage events and missions. And also something else which is really useful about being in contact with the Enterprise Europe network through Scottish Enterprise is that they work on sector groups themselves, so they have that personal relationship with someone doing the same role with them in different countries who know the companies in their area. So sometimes you get individual insight, or they'll be able to help you identify the best options. They can also provide that support for the development of profiles if you're searching for projects using their database. They've got some wider activity support, as you can see on the screen. And I think would be my last slide. As wanted again mentioned for Innovate UK, but this time it isn't hosted by Scottish Enterprise. The role in particular that I was thinking of is the national contact point for Horizon Europe programme. So that's the largest funding programme I was talking about quite a bit earlier on. As you can see from the overview, just on front of you, the support includes finding partners. And it's actually the energy national contact points from different countries who run that GreenNet website itself. So that's a direct contact into the national contact points. In Scotland, the main contact for the Horizon programme for support in the energy area is Conal McGinley. And Conal is located in Scotland, and we know Conal very, very well. I've worked with him previously as well when he was at Scottish Enterprise. There's actually also dedicated contacts for other parts of Horizon Europe, like the European Innovation Council, the Pathfinder call I mentioned earlier on. There's someone who looks directly after that one. And finally, it's also worth mentioning that Innovate UK and the research councils periodically also provide travel grants or pump priming funding to help you develop your application as well, or make those connections as well. I did check before today that currently they're not open, but they do kind of open quite regularly when, I guess, money becomes available to do these things. So there is routes to actually go beyond just the screen and actually meet people in person. I think that is myself, Natasha.
Thanks so much. Oh, trying to move it on. Thank you so much, Richard. So just a reminder before we go into the pitches, open up the chat, have a look in the chat, and you will have links there. Or you can scan the QR codes on the slides as people are speaking. if you go through on the QR codes or the link and it says you don't have access, it's just because we're waiting for the activation of that profile. We think most of the profiles have activated now. I think maybe it's just Ukraine that we're waiting for, maybe one of the Hungarians, but just bear with us and you should be able to get straight into the profiles afterwards. So we're going to have a quick fire pictures from our pictures just now. So we have just 4 minutes each for each of you. Jenny's going to be on the timers. We're going to start with our academic pictures. So Dr. Dalia Ali from Robert Gordon University and Dr. Fiona Sillars from Strathclyde University. And they'll be introducing themselves, and then we'll go on to our industry innovators. So Richard from Waterwhelm, Lindsay from Geothermal Power, and Simon Rees from Steer Energy. Matt was going to start off first with the case study. Sorry, Matt. Let's go to you first, and then we're going to start with the pictures. Sorry, I've done it the wrong way around. So Matt first, and then we go on to the pictures.
Thanks, Natasha. I'll keep it brief. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I really
wanted.
wanted.
We've got a few minutes.
Oh, great. Well, basically, this is people who've gone through the process before and what we thought about it. So for all of you who aren't ETP or any of the other organizations and are interested in doing this, this is what it feels like to go through the process. We got engaged with this through the CTP program and their brokerage website in August last year. And we found that the support level that the enterprise agencies gave us was pretty good, in particular around understanding the process. And it's something that's well worth spending some time understanding, and also on the profile generation. So I'm going to sound a little bit like I'm echoing what Natasha and Richard have been saying this morning, but that profile build is really important, and it's really a two-way street. It does what you want to do. You have a project, or you have an idea about how you want to develop your technology or your organization or your offering, and then you're putting that out to the world in the best way you can, and that's important on the profile to get that across. As Richard said, try and get some specifics in there about the details of what you've got and how you want to work with people. And then there's the other one that sometimes we miss, which is helping people understand who you and your organization are, so that when they're building their consortia or their projects and profiles, they can come and have a chat with you and say, actually, we found something in what you say you do that we'd like to have a conversation about. And it's creating new opportunities that you hadn't considered. So there's really two parts of it to try and get your head around. How can we help get information out there through these websites, through these processes, through our profiles, to make sure anyone you meet, any conversations you have and meetings you have will help you deliver what you're already thinking about doing. But also you can spark that idea, that creativity in others when they see, hang on, this company, this organization, these people have got something that we think we want to find as well, that you might not have had originally on your battle plan. So it's about starting those new opportunities. And so very, very much echoing what we've heard Richard say already about those profiles, but try and think about those two things. And they can be contradictory at times. Be slightly more generalist, be slightly more information heavy, but you're trying to kind of strike the balance between the two about everything that you can do, what you can offer, and what you're trying to push forward. Our experience through Clyde Hydrogen Systems is that we're a generator of hydrogen. We have a decoupled electrolysis system. We're a spin out from the University of Glasgow. We're about 4 years old, and we've had a very, very positive experience of going through this process. Using the brokerage websites last year, we picked up 2 consortium bids through CETP. One of those has gone through to the second and final assessment round, which is going on at the moment, which is great. We've had a successful EU Horizons bid. We've been part of that, and we've been part of 3 more EU Horizons bids that are currently under assessment, and another one that didn't pass the initial assessment stage. And all of those were part and parcel of what we picked up through the brokerage websites, through the support agencies, all this piece. And so we found it extremely useful. As lead up to this, I built our profile over through GreenNet, and we're still interested in talking to people about possibilities for demonstration projects for hydrogen generators and energy storage systems. But I'd been on the GreenNet website approximately 5 days when I updated our profile, and I got the first message coming in saying, hey, we're interested in what your technology does. Can we have a conversation? These things are really, really useful, and it's something that I had not considered. So it's a new opportunity for us. And so really why I wanted to push that part of the profile is that unbidden new ideas come across to you, and you might have, out of left field, other people's ideas, and you can build them into what you're planning to do with your organization. That's really all I wanted to say. It's about profile, profile, profile. Get it on, get it early, and review it. And so I looked at our profile built in August and September last year, and realized we can update it with a load more things that we're doing. So if you've got every 3 or 6 months updating on that, as they've said before, it's going to be ready to go, ready to use, and really, really useful tool in developing those consortium, developing those organizations, whether you're leading a bid or just want to be part of a bid. For us, it was an extremely positive experience, and one we'd encourage everyone else to spend the time on now while you're focused, and it'll pay off over the next months and possibly years to come.
Super, Matt. That's really great to hear how good your experience was, and good luck with all of those bids that are going through.
Yeah,
as well.
The worst thing would be if we got them all at once, but very, very positive experience so far. Thanks, Natasha.
You just have to expand your team. So I didn't want I brought Matt on just because I didn't want you just to hear it from myself and Richard. I really wanted you to hear it from people who've gone through the process. And Matt has just sort of proved how quickly it has. But also Dalia only put on her profile last week, and she already got 3 connections and has already set up meetings before we even had the event. So we'll hear from Dalia now. So it's time is starting now. You've got 4 minutes, Dalia, and up you go. Let's bring up your slides.
Thank you, Natasha. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Dalia Ali from Robert Gordon University, which is a higher education institution, and our research reflects our expertise working with industries, deliver innovative research solutions for business and industry, and our research group is interested in the energy transition of all industrial facilities and buildings, looking into energy storage in the form of hydrogen particularly, plus energy supply, which is green energy supply, and its integration with the grid. The next slide, please. So we have a number of projects that we are presenting, but today I'm going to focus on just one project, although there is plenty. Our research group basically develop research to support the energy transition of different sectors through green energy solutions, sustainable regimes, optimal design of hybrid renewable hydrogen energy systems, especially those integrated with the grid, how to do the energy management process to gradually transit them from the grid to the renewables. We target the SDGs 7, 9, 11, and 13. My research group current proposal aims transitioning the hard-to-abate industry sector, and in particular, we are looking into the ammonia industry because ammonia is used as a key feedstock for other industry, so decarbonizing it accordingly does drive the industry sector sustainable energy transition. What we are proposing is an innovative, complete, eco-friendly, hybrid renewable hydrogen energy system that will transit the hard-to-abate ammonia industry, which already have very high carbon footprint. And this will happen through designing 3 novel systems. Firstly, we are going to design a novel renewable hydrogen energy system that integrates the optimal renewables together with hydrogen energy storage and an innovative energy management approach so that we can ensure that the high electricity consumption of the ammonia industry comes from renewable while controlling the energy management across the hybrid system components with the grid, because definitely it's still connected to the grid and taking power from the grid, but we're trying to make this gradual, like moving from the grid to the renewables in steps in order to decarbonize this. And we have projects that has been successfully completed in this particular area, but we are going to apply this into the industry sector. We are going also to develop a novel technology-based dual clean hydrogen production plants that will produce green hydrogen to replace the gray hydrogen feedstock that is used in the ammonia industry. And this green hydrogen will come by using the wastewater, the solid waste of the industry, together with the renewable surplus. So that means I am saving the clean water that is used in electrolysis. It also means that I am eliminating the curtailment of renewable because I'm using the surplus. And also we are eradicating the footprints of the industry's solid waste and using its wastewater. Also, the third system that we are proposing is a novel market readiness framework that will allow assessing the overall innovative system with consideration including policy, regulatory requirements, financial viability, commercial potential, and socio-technical risk, so that this becomes helpful in applying this in other industries as well. Thank you.
Marvelous. Thank you, Dalia. So, Fiona, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Off you go. Thank you.
So I'm Fiona Stillers. I'm the director at the Advanced Materials Research Laboratory at the University of Strathclyde. We basically have a research laboratory where we do a lot of materials characterization and testing, and we have been working in hydrogen testing or characterization of materials on hydrogen conditions since 2019. And over those years, we've developed sort of novel test methodology to correlate sort of in situ laboratory conditions with industrial applications. We're currently looking at investigating also the sort of microstructure in relation to hydrogen and characterizing lots of materials for deployment of hydrogen systems. In terms of my own background, we've been looking at both gaseous and cryogenic hydrogen storage. So we look at the testing conditions in the cryogenic under cryogenic conditions, the failure analysis, the damage and degradation mechanisms, and how those interact with the materials for long-term service deployment. This has been looked at specifically with aviation in mind, so cryogenic hydrogen storage tanks, and also for not really relevant to today's call, but for fusion development of the fusion reactors for UKEEA. Next slide. So the topics that I've already got on our profile, so I'll caveat this that I'm actually adding some more to the profile later today, but the two that we have, one again is not particularly relevant today, but I'll list it. So we also work on circular innovation for wind industry, so that's looking at repair and remanufacture of wind turbine components for lifetime extension, repair and reuse. So if you have partners within that area, please let them know that we've already created a consortium for this and we're looking for other partners. The one for today is looking at components in development and experimental testing for onboard liquid hydrogen supply. So like I mentioned, we are working on validation and characterization of materials for hydrogen storage tanks. So we're looking for partners who have an interest in developing this further, and also developing that particularly around the standards and sort of design codes around these materials and how they will react in service. The one that's not listed on here today is again looking at bulk liquid and hydrogen storage, and we have expertise developing very low thermal conductivity insulation materials for around the hydrogen storage tanks. So if anybody's looking for that one, it would be very early stage. So we would be looking to collaborate with other partners working on both development of the insulation materials, and then the rollout of those insulation materials, manufacturers, and then end users for the insulation materials. So that would be creating a consortium from scratch.
That everything?
Yep,
Thank
everything.
You so much,
thank you.
Fiona. Thank you, Fiona. Richard from Waterwhelm, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, thank you, Natasha. So I'm from Waterwhelm, and I'm Waterwhelm's R&D manager, and we have a technology that uses waste heat to produce fresh water from wastewater or seawater. Because it uses waste heat and operates at low pressure, it has the lowest rate of electrical energy consumption for these processes. Our current projects are two commercial projects. So we've got one with Veolia, one with Northumbrian Water, both for water reuse. We also have a We also have a project with the Saudi Water Authority in Saudi Arabia, and that's using solar thermal troughs for desalination of seawater. We've got several Innovate UK projects, one in Taiwan to integrate our technology to hydrogen electrolyzer waste heat and use that for seawater desalination. We've also just completed a Clean Maritime Demonstration 6 competition project, an Innovate UK project with Forth Ports at the Port of Leith, and again integrating our water treatment technology to sustainable hydrogen production. Next slide, please.
Oh,
there we are. Thank you. So we're currently looking for projects to join as a project partner. These are some of our ideas of how we would like to come in. We could be using directly waste heat from hydrogen production, from hydrogen carrier production, to produce fresh water from wastewater or desalination. We can then send the water that we produce back into the hydrogen production process. Another option would be the integrate into industrial waste heat to produce fresh water from wastewater, like we are with Veolia and Northumbrian Water. And the final one is looking at how we can come in on a project that considers probably not solar thermal troughs in the UK, but geothermal heat in the UK, renewable heat that we could integrate our system into that heat source. So basically any project that considers an angle or a need for fresh water, that is trying to treat wastewater, that is trying to desalinate, would be very interested in coming on those. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a project revolving around freshwater or desalination. As I say, it could be a hydrogen project where you want to make your project more sustainable in terms of water consumption, in terms of electrical energy consumption. So lots of ideas. So please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Richard. Lindsay, are you there?
Yeah.
Off you go.
Well, we are a very small company, really just the three founders involved. One, Bill Henderson, has 40 years experience in the oil and gas sector as a senior drilling engineer, and Dr. David Telford is a physicist with extensive experience in energy, and more recently has been involved at a senior level in hydrogen usage. We formed to bring the expertise that particularly those two have to the two deep geothermal projects in Scotland and then beyond. I think if we could go to the next slide, please. Okay, we have two projects currently under investigation where we feel that hydrogen can play a key part. The first of those is at the SEC in Glasgow. We have already been involved in the geothermal research there. Some £600,000 has been spent on that research. We feel that geothermal provides not just electricity, but residual heat. So we have the potential to help the Scottish Event Campus convert from gas to hydrogen. And the residual heat that we could produce, there are many potential off-takers within connectable distance of the site that we've identified within the SEC campus. The other project where hydrogen has a key part to play is on Islay. Islay is dependent on the whisky industry. There are some 9, shortly to be 10 distilleries on the island, and tourism. At the present time, all of these distilleries are using fuel oil as their energy source. That has to be trucked onto the island and then around the island. Scottish Islands in general, but Islay in particular, are probably amongst the highest areas of fuel poverty in the UK. And that has got to do with the cost of fuel oil, because it has a domestic as well as an industrial use there. There are problems there with grid capacity. So our research so far has suggested that there may well be an opportunity for a geothermal project there that could produce energy locally. We have spoken to all the distilleries and have NDAs in place with most of them. A lot of interest in that, as there is from local authorities. In both of these projects, as I've said, we've already spent a considerable amount of time and investment. So we now feel that we need some 890k in order to take them to a point where they have a clearly defined and investor business case to cover things like the legal aspects, the planning consents, and some elements of design. Where we would like a partner would probably be in the area of hydrogen production, and if you take Islay as an example, the distribution of that hydrogen to the distilleries. We need from a partner not just that technical expertise, but to enhance our credibility in attracting, we hope to attract this 890k by equity participation in our company, or by grant funding, or a combination of the two. So we would hope that a potential partner could join us not just to provide technical expertise, but enhance our credibility in terms of hydrogen production and distribution in attracting investment or grant support. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. So next we have Simon.
Yeah, I'm Simon Rees from Steer Energy. Hydrogen is perceived as dangerous. There's a feeling out there, we call it the Hindenburg effect, that hydrogen is a dangerous way of doing things, and very often this safety aspect is what kills off projects, because there's a lack of acceptance in the local community, and there's been many examples of how this has happened with various hydrogen deployment programs in the domestic situation in particular. So Steer can help project developers with the demonstration of safety. We do test, fundamental research, safety case development, standards development, and we've done all of these things, over 44 projects so far in hydrogen project development. We're Scottish registered, so we're based up in Inverurie, about 20 miles north of Aberdeen, about 15 people, 2 test sites, one in Inverurie, one down in Stroud, near in Gloucestershire, and we also do our own development work within that environment. So the development work is innovative solutions for safety and operations for hydrogen and other gas industry related techniques. So next slide, please. Well, hello. That's better. Right, so there are still some significant gaps in hydrogen safety as applied to both utility situation, but also to process situations. The performance of it at lower, near the lower flammable limit, lower explosive limit, is uncertain. 4% is often quoted as the minimum. But recent research that we've done and also been done in Norway suggests that actually 8% is a more realistic global safe limit, maybe as high as 10%. So a lot more work needs to be done on that. The ignition probabilities are also low. There is not currently a solid ignition probability model for hydrogen. It depends a lot on the situation. There's a whole mass of different ignition courses, which we've also researched heavily. We've not covered all of them. There's more to do, and what we're starting to see is that there is a need for specific work for specific applications. So we're looking at electrolyzers at the moment, for example. Are the surface is hot enough in order to generate combustion. And then you've got the purging. Purging is quite a big issue. Again, electrolyzers, pipelines, things like that. When you start it up, you have a mixture of air and hydrogen in there. Because the flammable range of hydrogen is so wide, you have a longer period when you have a potentially hazardous mixture than you would with conventional natural gas. We've done a lot of test and theoretical analysis and modeling on the purging. The current standards that are used for purging are wrong for hydrogen. We've concluded there are some fairly big gaps there that also need to work. So there is scope for quite a lot more research to refine hydrogen safety standards in all the applications we're talking about here. We'd be very interested in joining a partner, although obviously there's a pitch there for a particular thing. I think it's more likely that we'll be interested in joining another consortium that has need for the safety analysis to support their project. We have the expertise to do it. There's two of our gentlemen there stood there in the high-vis jackets next to a large detonation thing, and contact details are through the QR code. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. That's great, Simon. So plenty of food for thought there for collaborations. So the link should already be posted in the chat, but again, keep connecting directly. We're going to go on to the European pictures now. So we're going to start off with France with Peter Bamberg.
Hello to everybody. My name is Peter Bamberg. I have created an engineering company in France. We have the 13 owners of the company, which are all experts in different areas of renewable energies. So we are working on projects in renewable energy to produce energy as well as green hydrogen and follow-up products like ammonia, methanol, and e-fuels. We have developed a project with autonomous grid-independent energy generation. That means we use wind kite for exploiting kinetic wind energy. We are using helical turbines to generate energy from tidal streams. These helical turbines come from Norway. This is one of our partners. The wind kite solution, as the second source, is a project and a product which is developed in Germany. So these two sources generate some 60 gigawatt hours per year as a sort of basic energy available for all the production and storage processes. Next slide, please. Our lighthouse project is called the 2W2H2 That means wind and water to hydrogen, green, methanol. This project will be installed on a semi-submersible recycled platform. We will have all the processes of generating energy and of producing fuels and hydrogen on the platform, and will be autonomous also in the sense of that we are using marine sites and not land sites for the project, which means we will have some advantages in environmental conditions, etc. Our project is directed towards Scotland, in particular the Shetland Islands, where we have very good support from the Shetland Island Council, as well as local industry in the Lerwick port for the transformation which we plan to do. We also have partners in Aberdeen, the Plus Zero company, which will be the operator of our project. And we have the Strathclyde University, basically for structural investigation and verification. We will use these expertise in our project, which has been submitted to Hydrogen Europe in February of this year. And we will wait for the result acceptance, hopefully by July of this year. Thank you very much.
Just to mention that you're looking for additional partners as well. Yes, you've listed 3 types of partnerships as well at the bottom there.
Yeah, I might even add that we are very interested in liquid hydrogen storage. This could be one of the components. We are also interested in electric system architectures for the multiple process production on the platform. Maybe there are candidates for that. And finally, we are also looking for advanced electrolyzer technologies which use seawater. Thank you.
Thanks so much. So now on to Bjorn, going over to Belgium.
Okay, thank you, Natasha. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Björn van Tienen and I represent Exion Hydrogen. Exion Hydrogen is a privately owned European electrolyzer manufacturer. We manufacture in Poland, in Gdansk, and we do R&D and business development out of Belgium. We develop both pressurized alkaline and PEM electrolyzer platforms, and today I want to focus on technology specifications. So one question in that sense would be what makes an electrolyzer successful over its lifetime? For us at Exion Hydrogen, the answer is simple. For us, that is durability. Meaning that the hydrogen sector has become very good in discussing efficiency, power consumption, and capex. But an electrolyzer creates value only when it keeps running. Every hour of downtime increases cost. Every component replacement impacts economics. And every degradation mechanism results or affects project viability. So that is why our engineering philosophy starts with reliability and durability. We design systems intended not only to perform well on day one, but to keep performing year after year under real operating conditions. I invite you to download our manifesto from our website to check out our philosophy. We have in the meantime moved from development to deployment. Our first alkaline unit is running in the field since August last year, and additional units are about to be commissioned. Our first PEM system has recently been delivered for long-term operational testing. So the next step is clear. We want to validate, improve, and accelerate these technologies together with strong project partners. We are actively looking for demonstrator and collaboration projects, and we are interested in both commercial and publicly funded initiatives. For our alkaline platform, we are looking for projects that allow us to further optimize performance, operational procedures, and cost efficiency while maintaining the durability standards that define our approach. When it comes to our PEM platform, we are looking for opportunities to further validate our proprietary HiFi technology. HiFi stands for Hydrogen Integrated Flow Improvement and is designed to improve water and gas management inside the cell stack. The ultimate objective is not simply better performance. It's basically to pursue improved durability, reduced component stress, and lower degradation during dynamic operation. So in short, we are looking for partners who need an electrolyzer supplier, but even more importantly, we are looking for partners who share our belief that durability will become one of the defining success factors in our industry. If you are developing a demonstrator project, preparing a funding proposal, or looking for an electrolyzer partner for hydrogen deployment initiatives, we would be delighted to explore opportunities together. So thank you, and I look forward to speaking to you after this session.
That's great. Thanks so much, Bjorn. Zoltan from Hungary, are you available just now?
Yes. First of all, I'm Zoltan Vucsi from the Hungarian Hydrogen Technology Association, and Hungary is a very interesting partner for EU projects because there was an election in Hungary. The new government is very EU-oriented, and the most important promise was by this government to bring back those EU funds which the former government could not because of the debate in the EU. So I think there is a good time here to cooperate with Hungary. So actually, we are very active in clean hydrogen partnership projects. We have one submitted small-scale hydrogen volley, and we have one large-scale hydrogen volley project. And in both of them, we need technology partners to implement the projects which is under evaluation at this moment. And hopefully they will win a minimum one of them. So I would list some members of our association. We have 100 members. So I would say that I'm talking on behalf of 100 companies, which would mean 100 project possibilities. So I did not list these 100 projects in the slide, only the most important. But anyway, in using this good portal possibility, I will and the companies will contact you. So first, MOL, the biggest oil company in Hungary, they are upscaling their 10 megawatt electrolyzer capacity to 100 megawatt in modular scale. So they are looking for partners who can provide electrolyzer in a modular approach. The MVM, this is the biggest electricity company. They are looking for grid balancing technology partners. Grid balancing is very important for Hungary because we have no sea, we have no wind. We have landlocked in the heart of the Europe. The electrolyzer based hydrogen production is very expensive. So this is why we need the grid balancing to save our electricity system. MAV, the biggest mobility customer with the railway transportation and bus transportation, because of the EU regulation, they have to switch to green vehicles. So in this case, this is why we are very interested in the Scottish experiences in Aberdeen and other bus operation and railway operation experiences. Green ammonia for Nitrogen Művek company is very important because in Hungary, the fertilizer industry is very developed. And because of the regulation, the green ammonia for fertilizer industry is absolutely a key to survive. Our EcoCycle company is making a waste to hydrogen project. And in this case, all these waste to hydrogen Scottish experiences are very important for us. Contact Electro is developing a H2 garbage truck. So in this waste management area topics, we are looking for partners to cooperate. Ganzer is making an electrolyzer at compressors, and for technology partners, they will be happy to cooperate. And Budapest Airport is part of the Goliath project, the Airbus and Vinci Airports project, and we are the official advisor and partner of the Budapest Airport. We are making a study for them. So liquid hydrogen is very interesting. So in this case, we need expertise and we need technology partners. What I've heard in previously is very interesting. We have R&D companies, universities at Hanner, and we made an innovation prize competition, and the winner is BDN Automotive, who will be the next presenter from Hungary. Thank you very much, and I would like to invite you on next February to our fantastic conference, Hydrogen Open, in February. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. So put a link for that in the for the conference in the chat if you've got that one already, Zoltan. It looks like you've got lots of project ideas to add to your profile as well. So move on to Nimrod just now. Are you ready there, Nimrod?
Yes, hello everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So, well, thanks for Zoltan for the introduction, and actually thanks everyone for being here and letting us be here. I'll get into our project or company, which is, let's start with an intro. So basically the world needs cleaner and more resilient power, but replacing existing diesel systems is simply too expensive, too slow, and it creates a massive amount of stranded assets. At the same time, energy demand is exploding, mainly driven by AI data centers, and energy independency and is also becoming critical as we can see around us. So at BDM Powertrain, we do not replace engines, but we upgrade them. We retrofit existing diesel generators to run on hydrogen diesel dual fuel mode, cutting emissions by approximately up to 85%, while very importantly, keeping full reliability with the diesel fallback option. So if we don't have hydrogen, then we can still run on diesel, and it sort of like solves this chicken or egg problem when we introduce these technologies. So again, no new fleets, no stranded assets, and it could be an immediate deployment. But the real value is not the hardware itself, but we are also building an AI-driven software platform, which fundamentally changes how engines are being developed. We train our models on simulation and also data from the field on our engines, basically allowing to generate working engine setup without any manual calibration effort. Then we use all the real-world data from our combustion measurement system to continuously improve the performance with machine learning. So basically, this retrofit system, what we are now creating is how we prove this AI platform in practice, but the business scales through software, control systems, and data later. Our starting point is off-grid power generation because the demand is immediate and it's growing fast, and also the legislation is not that hard, or at least much easier than like the on-road vehicles. We've been on the market since 2019. Initially, we were a motorsport company doing engine development. We have now a team of 8 highly skilled engineers, and we've been working with over 100 customers in the motorsport sector, including Koenigsegg and a lot of large tuning teams and motorsport teams. Basically everything except Formula One. So this is where we have the knowledge from, and we are now transferring this to the sustainability industry. Currently, we are closing a €2 million funding round straight from VCs. So this will be enough for us to get to the next step, which is basically generating or developing a 300 kilowatt genset ready to use in pilot projects. So basically what we are looking for now in terms of collaboration is any partner who's interested in having a diesel hydrogen dual fuel genset, then message us and we can talk about the details, because this is our next step for us to deploy those engines and have more and more data from the field, from the users. The time range of the whole project is approximately 18 months. So within 18 months, we can deliver the engines and you can start using it. It will have all the certification and basically really a plug and play ready to use system. So in short, we as BDN bring motorsport grade engineering into the energy sector and turn the engine development business into a scalable software business. Thank you very much.
That's lovely. Thank you so much, Nimrod. So I think we're now on our last picture, which is Vyacheslav from Ukraine. Hi there.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Vyacheslav. My surname is Luchnikov, and I represent here the company which is called UDP Renewables. UDP Renewables is the development and investment company in renewables here in Ukraine. So we are in the market since 2016, and since that time we managed to develop quite comprehensive portfolio of different renewable assets, starting from the solar and going to hydrogen. So in total, we get 1.6 gigawatts of different capacities under our portfolio currently, which consist of solar, integrated power assets, wind assets, and hydrogen as well. My focus at the moment as a CEO of UDPR Hydrogen is our hydrogen project, which we are running since 2020, and which is focused on delivering renewable hydrogen to European market, to European centers of demand. Next slide, please. Yeah, so a few words about our hydrogen project, which is called Green West Power 2X. The project, which is focused both on renewable hydrogen production and derivatives. The capacity of the project is 500 megawatts of electrolyzer capacity, which is backed up with 1.3 gigawatt of renewables. So actually we develop full value chain starting from on the production side, starting from renewables and going to the electrolyzer part of the production. The project is located just on the border with Poland, which is western part of Ukraine, 500 meters from the border with Poland, and around 10 kilometers away from the Central European Hydrogen Corridor, which links Ukraine with Germany through Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Austria. So what we've done currently is that we've already finalized our pre-feasibility study, case, business planning, business case. We managed to be supported by Clean Hydrogen Partnership in terms of the project development assistance, which we executed and finalized in February this year. And right now we are entering pre-FEED stage for the project. And actually this is what we are seeking for. We are seeking for the partners in order to perform feasibility study for this project and to be involved into the pre-FEED stage or FEED stage, which is planned both for 2026 and 2027. As well, we are thinking about some pilot project, maybe from 5 to 10 megawatts of electrolyzer capacity, because currently we have already started the construction of 36 megawatt of wind power in terms of our project, the electricity from which can be supplied to the pilot electrolyzer project. Thank you very much for your attention. This is it from my side. I will be glad to contact with the potential partners.
That's really good. Thank you so much. That's the end of our pitching session. So we've got a little bit of time now. Actually, we were just a little bit ahead of time, so we've got more time for Q&A or discussion. First of all, I can see that there are already some connections being made in the chat, so keep on sharing within the chat your project opportunities. Is there anyone who wants to raise another project opportunity that hasn't been on the pitch, but someone who's got a particular opportunity wants to put it out there? I know there are some people who are not formally pitching today, but are on the calls. Does anyone just want to say a couple of minutes, another opportunity for collaboration? I'm thinking maybe Amalan or Willem. Anyone else? Amalan.
Thank you, Natasha. Good evening. It's been an excellent webinar and listening to the specialists out there. The collaboration request that we have is slightly different from what was necessarily presented. We are particular in waste to energy, and hydrogen is one of the pathways. We are looking at advanced thermal processing of waste at a decentralized level, particularly modular and fully built systems for deployment in remote and regional decarbonization efforts. Thank you. I have posted details of the collaboration that we are looking at, and we would be glad to get in touch with the specialists who already have advanced stage systems or fully built systems as well. Thank you.
That's really good. Amalan, it might be good to post that again in the chat because it's quite early on and some people joined a little late. So post your little one-pager again so people can see it if they came in after you did that. So that's great. Is there anyone else who's got another opportunity for collaboration and want to just quickly say a word or so? Can't see any hands. So we'll move on to questions. Anyone got any questions for anyone? You can put on your cameras, anyone who was pitching, and Richard and Matt as well. Are there any questions or any discussions you'd like to have with anybody?
Nothing for myself, Natasha, but
Nothing?
I would encourage people to just keep an eye out for the funding opportunities and see if they match up with their ambitions as time goes on, because there's always new opportunities coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just sort of scanning through the chat at the moment. I know there's been a lot of to and fro with there's some opportunities, perhaps some people want to catch up later. So I can't see any particular questions at the moment. Is anyone? If not, I will move on to what goes next, what's happening next. Oh, Diana. Diana Hernandez Baiz. Go ahead. Can't hear you. Do you have your mic on mute? You try again, Diana. I can't hear you. No? So we still can't hear you. If you've got a question, just put it in the chat. Then I keep trying to just try and speak again and we can see if we can hear your question live. Okay, so Diana's posted something there. Can hear something. Okay. So Diana's developing NZEMS, an integrated platform to support green hydrogen feasibility studies, system balancing, storage evaluation, economics and scenario comparison, looking for partners interested in grant applications, practical feasibility studies where renewable power, electrolyzers, hydrogen storage demand and investment decisions need to be assessed together. Okay, that's great. Similar experts, that's great. So we saw you already had a profile on GreenNet as well, Diana, so that's great that you've joined us today. Net Zero Energy Management Systems. Thanks you for that acronym. So we will move on to what's going to happen next and how you can how we can support you, if that's okay with anyone. If not, just shout at me if there's a question, because I can't see when I'm looking at the screen. Diana, another one? So I don't know, Diane, if that's a new question or you just got your hand left up. I think it's just a hand left up. Okay, so just to let you know that we have another event next week. This is the third one of our Hydrogen and Advanced Fuel webinar series, and that's the SPIRI academic research network that we have across our 14 universities. So we're pulling together a range of sessions on different topics, highlighting some of the research that's happening both at early career level and more senior level, and also some industry partners. And so our session next week involves University of St Andrews, Dr. Paul Connor, also one of his colleagues, Dr. Irvin, and we have from the University of Glasgow, Julian Muli-Castillo, Paul Codd from Flexigy, one of our innovators, has been supported through our Hydrogen Innovation Programme, and Jonathan Simpson from Scottish Enterprise, who is the specialist in hydrogen alternative fuels, giving an overview of the support and policy priorities as well for that. So join us for that. All of the previous ones are on our event page as well. There's a QR code there for you to sign up to that. And if you want to be added to our distribution email list for that, you can sign up to our web pages and newsletters as well. I mentioned also about the expression of interest for any support from the Hydrogen Innovation Programme. There's a QR code as well for that. And you can contact myself and Richard at the addresses are here on the screen. We also have a summary here on our ETP webpage of the expertise and facilities across our 12 of our 14 Scottish universities that are active in hydrogen. So there's a summary there, there's a document there to download, which just gives like a quick overview of the expertise we have across Scotland. Of course, you can contact us for getting in collaborating with any of our innovators and companies, large and small, that have Scottish bases. So from now, we will be sending around a follow-up email with all of the links and profile for the companies, the contact email addresses, and the profile links to the GreenNet page. So you'll be able to access them. If you can't get into them, just wait a few days and hopefully the ones that are not yet activated should be activated. But any problems, let us know and we can get into touch with them and introduce you. Some of the organizations, like in Hungary, we have the Hydrogen Fuel and Fuel Cell Association. There's another Zoltan, another Zoltan for another association in Hungary. He couldn't make it today, but again, he represents a number of organizations. So there's another route there to some other companies in Hungary. And then the Zoltan that you heard from today, Zoltan Butzi, mentioned a number of different companies that represents from the Hydrogen Technology Association. So likewise, we have contacts across Central Eastern European from the delegation that came earlier this year came to visit. So there are quite a range of contacts for Central Eastern European if you're looking for partners there. Other than that, just do get in contact with us to join other events that we're putting on. Richard, I'll hand over to you if you can just give a little bit of an overview of the follow-up support that is available if people have a project idea that they're looking for and looking for partners. You gave the links, but just can remind people just what the process is.
I think if you wanted to find out a little bit more about any of the funding programs, drop myself a call. I might pass you on to different individuals who are working directly on that programs, but we really do take a no wrong door approach overall. And I think Natasha and myself share, inquiries as well going forward. I would encourage you to sign up to the newsletter for the Colin McGinley, or the national contact point for Horizon Europe, and that will mean that you'll have a chance to get updated when the additional support, like the travel grants or the other client development support, is out there as well. And yeah, follow myself on LinkedIn as well. I tend to, I don't have a dedicated newsletter, so I tend to put out, updates every couple of weeks if something catches my eye.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for that. So there's a SPIRI LinkedIn, there's an ETP, Energy Technology Partnership LinkedIn as well. I have a LinkedIn too. You can find us in so many different ways. Do sign up to the SPIRI newsletter as well for other events that we're doing, which are broader than hydrogen. So we do have a range of engagement activities there. Everything that we do is free, so everybody's welcome. Other than that, we're looking forward to hearing more project ideas. Is there someone just wanting to say something? Hello? I heard a sound. Oh, okay. Other than that, is there anybody else, any last thoughts, any last comments from anybody? That's it. Then we can leave 10 minutes early and have a little bit of our day back. That's great. Thanks to everybody who came today. Thanks to all of my team at SPIRI who supported this, and Richard's as well, and the wider enterprise agency teams as well for support. And hopefully we'll get some project applications into any of the calls that are upcoming in the year. But please do get those profiles updated on GreenNet, and I am certain you're going to get contacts very soon. And if not, we will help put you together with other people who are interested in your area. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Natasha, and
Thanks,
teams.
Natasha.
Bye for now.
Special thanks to Natasha. And,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, all the
very much.
pictures.
Thank
You were
you.
brilliant.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.